This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Sunday, the 20th of November. I'm Michael Groff. Clouds on the increase this morning and some rain chances coming into the picture by later today, tonight, and tomorrow. Just how much rain are we actually going to get out of all this, though? And what about the Thanksgiving forecast? Certainly a lot to talk about as we look outside this morning. Considerable clouds out there right now as the sun is rising over the valley. 64 degrees at Sky Harbor right now. Very mild start to the day. Dew point at 32, relative humidity 30%. Winds are light and the barometer is rising. Temperatures around the area this morning, we're about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than we should be for this time of year. Mid-50s to mid-60s in most spots. Satellite shows clouds are increasing. Broad south and southwesterly flow starting to import plenty of moisture. Right now, mostly in the mid and high levels across the area, but clouds will be thickening and lowering as we go through the day today. Radar does show we have a few little blips out there, especially in northwest Arizona heading into southeast California. But yes, a few showers in western Maricopa County and western Pima County right now. Again, I would imagine that most of this rain is not reaching the ground as of yet. The air is still very dry. Watch warning map features plenty of freeze warnings from Texas and Oklahoma east through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and some wind advisories on the East Coast, winter weather advisories as well in upstate New York and heading into New England. The convective outlook pretty quiet, no organized areas of severe weather anywhere across the country today. Some thunder possible on the West Coast, though. So let's dive into our weather in more detail, shall we, and take a look at the models. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. Big upper high over the southern plains and a trough approaching the west coast of the U.S. today. So that means broad south to southwesterly flow develops here in the area. And some subtropical moisture will be imported as that trough and associated cold front begin to approach us from the west. As we go through the day today, top-down saturation occurs in the atmosphere, so it's going to take a while. Mid and high-level clouds first. Those will thicken and lower through the day. And at first, it's just a virga or sprinkle event, and eventually we start to see some showers by this afternoon. 30% chance of rain is what I'm going to call for right now. High temps, upper 70s to low 80s. Some of the models are a little bit faster developing rain around here. This is the high-res HER at 5 p.m. today. It shows rain across southern Arizona, mostly light rain. The NAM at noon today shows rain already developing here in the valley and points south and west. And this is the NAM at 5 p.m. today. So you get the idea. The models are speeding up the onset of precipitation. I still think it's going to take some time to get the atmosphere juiced up. We're still very dry. We have dew points only in the low 30s right now. So we'll take a few hours to get all that moisture imported in here. By tonight, southwesterly upslope flow will start to promote shower development here in the area, especially north and east of Phoenix. We'll get some rain going. Again, this is a showery event. Scattered to numerous showers, not a broad-scale, heavy rain, stratified event across the entire region. Showers, so some places will get wet, some won't, but I think everybody sees measurable rain before it's all said and done. So we're looking at maybe a few thunderstorms developing by tomorrow morning. This is 5 a.m. tomorrow. And again, not widespread thunderstorm activity either. The dynamics just aren't in play here, but with much colder air aloft entering the region tomorrow throughout the day, I think that a couple of thunderstorms are certainly not out of the question, and if you run into one of those, it may dump some pretty heavy rain in a localized spot. Tomorrow afternoon by 5 p.m., most of the rain starts to get out of here. I think we still have some lingering showers in south central Arizona, but most of the rain's over by then. High temps tomorrow, much cooler, mid to upper 60s. Looking at the latest QPF numbers off the GFS, again, we're a little bit wetter here. This was much drier yesterday. Today's run showing between 3/4 of an inch and an inch in some spots, especially in the North Valley toward Carefree, Cave Creek. So the favored upslope areas up by Payson, certainly inch to 2 inches of rain in a few spots. And that seems fairly reasonable. I think between a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain seems likely. This is the European, and it's actually much drier than it had been. It's showing only 1 or 2/10 of an inch, but I think we're going to be wetter than that. Again, about a ½ inch of rain. And we'll say an 80% chance of rain for Monday. All right, now on Tuesday, what we're looking at is everything's out of here. Sky becomes mostly sunny. Temperatures still cool. Highs in the upper 60s to near 70. Tuesday night should be cool as well. Lows in the 40s to low 50s. Then Wednesday, the busiest travel day of the year across the country. Look at this. Surface low over Chicago. Just pick out your favorite destination if you have friends and family coming in from someplace or you're headed off to a different location. This is what the weather's going to look like. This is midday on Wednesday. Surface low over Chicago. So rain extending from Houston toward Lake Charles, Louisiana, Tupelo, Nashville, Tennessee, northwestern Alabama up toward Indianapolis, Detroit. Chicago may actually have some snowflakes north of there into the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, back toward Minneapolis, St. Paul. Some rain out here in the west, but all of that is north of Arizona. Will be dry and have high temps in the low 70s. This is Thanksgiving Day, looking like a perfect day. There's a short wave that passes by to the north of the state, and that may help to knock temps down just a degree or two, keep temps just slightly lower than expected. Latest GFS deterministic numbers have highs in the upper 60s. I think we're warmer than this. We'll probably be in the low 70s, around 72, 73 for Thanksgiving Day. Either way, about the only sensible weather, a little bit of breeziness, especially toward the Colorado River Valley, but we should stay dry. This is Friday. After a start in the upper 40s to mid 50s, we'll climb into the low and middle 70s. Saturday, same thing, low and middle 70s. This is a week from today, Sunday, November 27th. Cool air in the northern tier states and over in the eastern part of the country. Mainly zonal flow here in the southwest. Temperatures seasonal, low to mid 70s. This is Monday, the 28th of November. Much colder air starting to dig into the Intermountain West and backslide here into the southwest states. See, temperatures would be lower. We'd have highs in the mid to upper 60s if this were to verify. And this is the end of the forecast period. Tuesday, November 29th, very cold air digging down into much of the nation. The western 2/3 or 3/4 of the nation would be much colder. Even here in the southwest, look at those heights falling off into the mid 550 decameter range. Highs would only be near 60, maybe the low 60s if this were to verify. Perhaps even cooler than that. We would still be dry. This is a dry look. We'd be on the western side of this trough digging down to the middle part of the country. But boy, would there ever be a big snowstorm extending from the Dakotas and Minnesota through much of the upper Midwest. Southern plains would be wet. This is a very interesting look. I would have a feeling that while the details of this may change, the idea of much cooler air by the end of the month does seem fairly reasonable. All right, numbers off the European. Warm today and then much cooler tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. Keep in mind the normal highs this time of year are in the low 70s. Thanksgiving looks absolutely perfect. And look there, much colder by the end of the month and into December. That's been a trend we've been seeing on the models for the last several days, and that looks to continue. Highs getting down to near 60 degrees. My goodness. And that's a look at the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video by tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great Sunday.